Lesson 1. Daily Routine.
I found something quite remarkable in the way people incorporate fitness into their daily lives.
That is awesome. How do you incorporate it into your daily routine?
I try to mix running with a bit of yoga to maintain balance.
That sounds like a fantastic approach. It is healthy and calming.
Yes, and I feel it helps with both physical and mental strength.
I entirely agree. Have you noticed better focus during your day since starting this routine?
Most certainly, it has made my productivity levels soar.
I must give it a try. I usually just do yoga, but mixing and running sounds invigorating.
You should. It is challenging yet incredibly fulfilling.
Lesson 2. Artistic Techniques.
I have recently begun experimenting with photography.
I also use filters and adjust the white balance to achieve the desired mood.
That is a great technique. The right light can transform a photograph entirely.
Absolutely. It is fascinating how much control you have over your subject.
Do you have any favorite settings for capturing portraits?
I do. Soft lighting creates a warm feel, which I adore.
Yes, and the way natural light plays on features is captivating.
I strive to enhance those attributes through careful editing too.
It is an art in itself, capturing emotions through still images.
Lesson 3. Polynesian Journeys.
Have you ever wondered about the journeys of the Maori people?
Yes, it is fascinating how they came to New Zealand by boats from small Polynesian islands.
Exactly. That journey must have required immense courage and navigation skills.
They were skilled sailors, traveling across great distances with limited technology.
And imagine the excitement of discovering new lands.
Indeed, it would have been both thrilling and daunting.
They surely had a strong sense of adventure to embark on such voyages.
It is remarkable how culture and community developed from those journeys.
I would love to learn more about their traditions and stories.
Lesson 4. Trekking Adventures.
Trekking in Chiang Mai sounds adventurous. What are your thoughts?
Indeed, it is a thrilling experience filled with breathtaking views.
I can imagine. The lush forests and mountains must be mesmerizing.
Absolutely. The nature trails offer a unique glimpse of wildlife too.
Have you visited Chiang Mai yourself?
Yes, I hiked through some stunning trails there last summer.
That sounds incredible. What was the highlight of your journey?
Reaching the summit at sunrise was absolutely unforgettable.
I would love to experience that.
Lesson 5. Unique Souvenirs.
I have been scouting for unique souvenirs here. How about you?
Yes, I have been checking out some unique souvenirs as well.
There is something special about bringing back a piece of a culture.
Indeed, I enjoy items that tell a story or have a personal touch.
What have you found so far?
A handcrafted vase caught my eye. It is beautiful and fits my home decor.
That sounds lovely. I intend to find a local artisan's work as a keepsake.
Supporting local artists always makes the purchase more meaningful.
A wise choice. It would indeed be a treasure from this adventure.
Lesson 6. Employment Opportunities.
Have you thought about the state of the job market lately?
Yes, it appears that the middle class in its struggle ought to be able to find work for all who can do it.
It is a challenging situation. Opportunities seem scarce despite the potential.
It would be beneficial for everyone to have access to employment.
Absolutely. A thriving workforce can uplift the entire economy.
Policies focused on job creation could indeed make a significant difference.
It would require collaboration from both the government and businesses.
We can only hope for a brighter future filled with opportunities for all.
Yes, optimism is key in navigating these challenges.
Lesson 7. Cultural Curiosities.
Have you noticed any interesting cultural differences since you started traveling?
Absolutely. For instance, in some countries, people greet each other with a kiss, while in others, a firm handshake is the norm.
That is quite fascinating. I once tried to greet someone with a kiss in a place where handshakes were the custom. It was rather awkward.
I can only imagine. Cultural norms can be so perplexing at times. I remember visiting a country where they remove their shoes before entering a home.
Yes, that is common in many places. I just forgot to remove my shoes and walked straight in. The host looked horrified.
Oh dear, that must have been an interesting conversation afterward. Did you manage to explain yourself?
I did, and thankfully, the hosts had a good laugh about it. They even presented me with a pair of guest slippers.
How kind! That shows their ability to laugh at such misunderstandings. I believe humor is a universal language.
Indeed, it is. It is comforting to know that regardless of cultural differences, we can all find humor in our blunders.
Lesson 8. Culinary Considerations.
Is it not wonderful how food tastes better when it is allowed to cool for a few minutes before serving?
I completely agree. I often find that letting it sit allows the flavors to develop more fully.
Exactly. Have you ever served a dish hot from the stove only to discover that everyone is too busy fanning their mouths?
Yes, it is embarrassing. It happened to me when I prepared a spicy curry. Everyone enjoyed it, but I felt like a chef gone wrong.
That is a classic scenario. I now prefer to say, patience is a virtue in the culinary world.
Indeed, I often tell my friends that good things come to those who wait, especially in cooking.
That is a delightful saying. Additionally, it gives you a moment to enjoy the pleasant aroma of your creation.
Absolutely. There is something magical about the scent of food wafting through the air, building anticipation.
Such a treat it is. Next time I cook, I shall remember to embrace the waiting game.
Lesson 9. Receipt Reminders.
It is always a good idea to keep the receipt for reference, especially after making a large purchase.
Indeed, I once made the mistake of discarding a receipt and regretted it when I had to return a faulty item.
I can relate. It is as though fate conspires against us when we do not save our receipts.
Precisely. I have a designated spot for mine now. It saves me from unexpected confrontations at the store.
You are wise. I started using a digital app to keep track of my receipts. It makes life so much easier.
What a brilliant idea! Digital organization is becoming an essential part of modern life.
Indeed, it alleviates the stress of searching through drawers filled with paper.
Plus, one can access their purchase history anytime, anywhere. That sort of convenience is unmatched.
There is no doubt about that. I highly recommend everyone adopt such a strategy.
Lesson 10: Online Insights.
I recently discovered how useful online platforms are for comparing prices. Have you tried it?
I certainly have. It saves so much time and effort, especially when planning to purchase electronics.
I once found the same gadget at 3 different prices across various websites. It felt like winning a small lottery.
That is fantastic. I always remind myself that a little research can save a lot of money.
Absolutely. It is like modern day treasure hunting. Do you have any advice for sightseeing while traveling?
Yes, I recommend researching local attractions and checking out reviews from fellow travelers.
That is wise. Personal experiences often guide us to hidden gems.
Exactly. Additionally, purchasing tickets online in advance can save time and money.
That sounds like a strategy worth following. I shall remember your advice next time I explore a new city.
Lesson 11: Receipt Reinforcement.
Anything else that should be done? Do not forget the receipt for reimbursement.
That is crucial. I always make a mental note to prepare my documents for reimbursement.
The last time I traveled, I failed to keep receipts, which led to a hassle when filing for reimbursement.
Oh no! Such experiences are unpleasant. I believe keeping detailed records is imperative.
Indeed, by doing so, I avoid the dreadful surprise of understanding that I have submitted an incomplete report.
Absolutely. I often recommend keeping copies of everything related to expenses.
Well said. It creates transparency and peace of mind when dealing with finances.
I entirely agree. Receipts may seem trivial, but they are invaluable in the end.
They really are. Let us just hope we remember this lesson next time.
Lesson 12: Culinary Adventures.
How is it going? I have been experimenting with some new recipes lately.
That sounds exciting. What kinds of dishes are you trying?
I am venturing into the world of fusion cuisine. It has awakened my culinary creativity.
That sounds delicious. I have often thought about combining different culinary traditions.
Indeed, it is all about balance. For instance, I blended Italian pasta with Asian stir-fry ingredients.
That sounds intriguing. How did it turn out?
Surprisingly, it was a hit. I received numerous compliments from my friends.
I am impressed. It appears you possess the makings of a great chef.
Thank you. I enjoy the challenge of creating something unique and tasty.
Lesson 13: Planning Adventures.
Definitely. It sounds like they have a great selection of activities. Let us plan it.
I cannot wait. Exploring new sights and experiences brings excitement into our lives.
Precisely. I find that planning together makes the journey much more enjoyable.
I completely agree. Collaboration often leads to discovering hidden gems.
How about we create an itinerary that includes all our must-see destinations?
That is an excellent idea. It balances structure and spontaneity nicely.
Additionally, we can include local eateries to taste authentic cuisine.
Yes, gastronomic adventures are essential to any travel experience.
All this talk is making me eager to embark on our journey.
Lesson 14. Budgeting Bliss.
Good afternoon. I have been pondering over our budget for the tools we require.
Excellent. It is best to begin with a specific figure in mind. Have you thought about how much you are willing to invest?
I believe a range of $500 to $700 should suffice for our initial purchases.
That sounds reasonable. We must ensure that we acquire quality tools that will last.
Absolutely. Inexpensive tools often lead to additional costs due to replacements.
Indeed, it is a classic case of you get what you pay for.
Exactly. Plus, investing in quality now will save us headaches later.
And what about sourcing the tools? Should we consider both online and local stores?
I prefer exploring local shops first. It allows us to examine the tools before making a purchase.
Lesson 15. Serious Matters.
Have you ever considered the importance of addressing harassment in our work environment?
Certainly. It is crucial that companies treat potential cases of sexual harassment with utmost seriousness.
I completely agree. Every employee deserves to work in a safe atmosphere free from any form of harassment.
Indeed, and it is essential to create channels for reporting such incidents without fear of retaliation.
Absolutely. Transparency in handling such cases encourages others to speak up.
It must be emphasized that prevention should be prioritized. Training sessions can educate everyone involved.
Correct. By fostering awareness, we can significantly minimize such instances.
Additionally, having clear policies in place is vital for outlining acceptable behavior.
Yes, a well-structured policy serves as a guideline for both staff and management alike.
Lesson 16. Customs Conundrum.
Well, it appears we are about to reach the customs area. Are you prepared for this?
I certainly am, but we must ensure that we declare everything we brought along.
Of course, transparency is critical when it comes to customs regulations.
Correct. I would rather not face any troublesome questions from the customs officers.
Neither would I. I have heard horror stories about the complications that can arise.
Exactly, and it is always better to be safe than sorry.
Do you have everything documented? Receipts for larger items, for instance?
I do. I keep all my receipts organized to streamline the customs process.
Brilliant. That tactic will undoubtedly save us time at the counter.
Lesson 17. A healthy routine.
It is splendid to see you. Have you maintained your fitness routine?
I certainly have. I participate in yoga every week, along with hitting the gym 3 times a week.
That is exceptional. It is commendable how you prioritize your health.
Thank you. I have found that regular exercise enhances both my physical and mental well being.
Indeed, the benefits are manifold. What exercises do you focus on?
I engage in a combination of cardio and strength training. It keeps my workout routine interesting.
That is a well-rounded approach. Variety is key to preventing burnout.
Absolutely. It not only keeps me motivated, but also challenges my body in different ways.
And how about nutrition? Is that a part of your routine as well?
Lesson 18: Easy hikes and trails.
It is a beautiful day for hiking. Do you not agree?
Absolutely. I prefer easier hikes to enjoy the scenery rather than strain myself too much.
I share your sentiments. There is something delightful about a leisurely trek in nature.
Indeed. Speaking of trails, do you know if dogs are allowed on these paths?
Great question. I believe many trails permit dogs, provided they are leashed.
That is excellent news. I would love to bring my furry friend along.
Pets can make the experience more enjoyable. Their excitement is infectious.
Exactly. Plus, they serve as wonderful companions on hikes.
It is important to check specific trail rules beforehand, just to be safe.
Lesson 19: Elegant Accessory.
I was pondering, how about a simple yet elegant pendant necklace as a gift?
That sounds delightful. A pendant necklace truly complements any outfit.
I agree. It serves as a versatile accessory suitable for any occasion.
Exactly. I appreciate jewelry that offers flexibility in styling.
Moreover, the elegance of a pendant has a timeless quality.
Yes, it can elevate even the most casual of outfits instantly.
Perhaps we could explore some unique designs together.
That would be wonderful. I enjoy selecting gifts that are both meaningful and stylish.
Indeed, it is the thoughtfulness behind the gift that counts.
Lesson 20: Pitch Perfect Season.
I have been reading about a fascinating player who faced numerous challenges.
Oh, do tell. I enjoy stories of resilience in sports.
This player had many pitches thrown his way and was regularly taunted by both fans and players.
That sounds intense. How did he manage to overcome such adversity?
Surprisingly well, he maintained a positive attitude and focused on improving his skills.
That is admirable. It is essential to stay mentally strong in such competitive situations.
Indeed, his season was a remarkable journey of growth despite the challenges.
I commend his perseverance. It takes a lot of courage to push through difficult times.
Absolutely. His dedication to the game truly paid off in the end.
Lesson 21: Flexible Plans.
As we contemplate our winter trip, do you have a specific time frame in mind?
I am quite flexible, but I must admit a winter trip sounds exhilarating.
It certainly does. I enjoy the charm of winter landscapes and cozy evenings by the fire.
Me too. Snow-capped mountains provide such a picturesque backdrop.
Agreed. What activities shall we include in our itinerary?
Perhaps we could incorporate skiing or snowboarding for some exhilarating fun.
That would be thrilling. Additionally, we should not forget about the hot chocolate afterward.
Absolutely. There is nothing quite like sipping warm beverages after a day in the snow.
Besides skiing, we could explore local markets or festivals if they are available.
Lesson 22. Learning tips.
I recently received a wonderful piece of advice for beginners learning new skills.
Oh, do share. I am always eager for helpful tips.
It is essential to start with a beginner's course and practice regularly. Consistency is paramount.
That is quite insightful. Regular practice solidifies what one learns.
Exactly. Repetition reinforces understanding and builds confidence over time.
I always find it beneficial to break down my practice into smaller, manageable sections.
Brilliant strategy. It allows for focused learning without feeling overwhelmed.
Furthermore, seeking feedback from peers or instructors can enhance one's progress.
That is a valuable point. Constructive criticism can guide improvements effectively.
Lesson 23. Culinary Eagerness.
I hope we can explore the local culinary delights during our trip.
Absolutely. I am in the mood for some pasta. Do they offer any local favorites?
I believe they do. Each region often boasts its unique pasta dishes.
That excites me. I enjoy tasting local cuisines to appreciate the culture even more.
It adds an extra layer to our travel experience, does it not?
Indeed, sharing meals often brings people together and creates lasting memories.
And there is something delightful about enjoying a plate of pasta while discussing the day's adventures.
Yes, I envision us seated at a quaint restaurant, savoring delicious food and laughter.
What an enjoyable experience that would be. It will certainly be a trip to remember.
Lesson 24. Size matters.
Have you seen the variety of sizes and types available in the latest store?
Indeed, it is astonishing how many options there are for just about everything nowadays.
I must say, I was particularly captivated by the selection of shoes. Each pair seemed to tell a different story.
Oh, I completely agree. There are high tops, sandals, and even fashionable flats. What is your favorite?
I am also interested in trying out some of those quirky designs they have. Who knew footwear could be so artistic?
Exactly. Footwear has become not just functional, but a statement of individuality. It is thrilling to see this evolution.
I often wonder how many pairs one truly needs. A variety, I suppose, to match every occasion.
Precisely. You never know when you might need that perfect pair for a spontaneous event.
You are right. Perhaps I shall invest in a few pieces to enhance my collection.
Lesson 25. Culinary Journey.
I recently indulged in a delicious sandwich and some coffee that completely revived my spirit.
That sounds delightful. There is nothing like a good sandwich to elevate one's mood. What was in it?
It was loaded with roasted vegetables and a generous helping of creamy cheese. Each bite was pure bliss.
How wonderful! Sandwiches have a magical ability to bring joy. Were there any delays during your journey to that cafe?
Surprisingly, there were a few. I encountered some traffic, but the thought of that sandwich kept me motivated.
I must say, it is remarkable how food can make our trips feel worthwhile, even when faced with delays.
Indeed, it is as though the promise of a delightful meal is a beacon guiding you through obstacles.
Well said. Now, I am feeling rather hungry. Do you have any recommendations for enjoying a good sandwich?
I would say the key lies in a quality bread as a foundation. Everything else follows beautifully.
Lesson 26. Embracing Failure.
I must confess, I always fear failure in everything I do.
That is quite a common concern. However, it is essential to embrace mistakes as learning experiences.
You are right. I often forget that making mistakes is a natural part of growth.
Precisely. Each failure brings valuable lessons that can only enhance your skills.
I suppose I get too caught up in the fear of disappointing others.
Understandably so, but imagine the joy of surprising everyone with your progress after overcoming those fears.
That is an encouraging perspective. Perhaps I should change how I view setbacks.
Absolutely. Treat them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks.
I will try to approach challenges with a mindset focused on growth.
Lesson 27. Celestial Wonder.
Have you ever experienced a star show in a planetarium?
I have. It is fascinating how a special projector throws a picture of the night sky on the ceiling of the theater.
Indeed, it creates an immersive experience that feels almost magical.
Absolutely. The way it simulates the vastness of the universe is awe-inspiring.
I particularly enjoy learning about different constellations and their stories.
Those narratives make the stars feel more relatable and personal, do they not?
Yes, I often find myself gazing at the night sky, trying to identify the constellations.
It is a delightful challenge. Would you like to visit a planetarium together sometime?
That is an excellent idea. I would love to experience another star show with you.
Lesson 28. Culinary Creations.
Cherry tomatoes paired with balsamic dressing sounds delicious.
It certainly does. However, what could be our main dish to complement this delightful salad?
Perhaps we could prepare grilled chicken or fish as the centerpiece of our meal.
That would be perfect. Grilled flavors would harmonize beautifully with the fresh salad.
I agree. We could even incorporate some herbs and spices for added flavor.
Excellent thought. I have a rosemary plant that could enhance the grilled chicken wonderfully.
That sounds delightful. I can already envision a beautifully plated meal.
Me too. It is going to be a feast for both the eyes and the palate.
Shall we proceed to gather the ingredients and start cooking?
Lesson 29. Historical Insights.
I have been reading about a fascinating historical account that was largely made up of inexperienced young men.
That sounds interesting. What context are you referring to?
This account describes a ship without any room for soldiers or marines, simply young individuals embarking on a significant journey.
How intriguing. It must have been challenging for them, lacking experience in such turbulent times.
Indeed, it highlights the bravery and determination of those young men.
It makes one appreciate the growth they must have experienced throughout their journey.
Exactly. Facing adversity often teaches invaluable lessons that one cannot acquire through formal training.
Absolutely. History is full of instances where inexperienced individuals became great leaders through their experiences.
It is a reminder that every expert was once a beginner.
Lesson 30. Brewing Passion.
Hey, do you enjoy brewing coffee at home?
Yes, indeed. I love being a home barista. It is quite entertaining.
It seems like an art form. What is your favorite method of brewing coffee?
I particularly enjoy using a French press. The rich flavors it produces are simply delightful.
That is an excellent choice. It always surprises me how something so simple can yield such robust taste.
Exactly. There is a satisfaction in crafting each cup from start to finish.
I imagine that your guests appreciate your coffee-making skills as well.
They do. I always receive compliments, which makes the effort worthwhile.
Perhaps you could teach me your barista secret someday.
Lesson 31. Countryside Escape.
I cannot wait to spend a week in the countryside. That sounds amazing.
Indeed, it does. Do you have a specific itinerary in mind for our stay?
I envision leisurely walks, perhaps some hiking, and admiring the scenic views.
That sounds delightful. I hope we will also find quaint local caves to explore.
Absolutely. Sampling regional delicacies is a must during our visit.
Yes, I am particularly fond of homemade pies and locally sourced cheeses.
Those are the best. There is something about fresh food that simply cannot be matched.
Precisely. I look forward to savoring every bite while enjoying the peaceful surroundings.
Additionally, do you think we should engage in any outdoor activities, such as cycling?
Lesson 32. Cultural Insights.
I recently discovered an interesting fact about the relationship between scientists and literary figures.
That does sound intriguing. What is the nature of their interaction?
It appears that scientists do not often converse with literary men, and vice versa.
That is curious. One would think they might share common ground in their pursuits.
Indeed, both groups explore the depths of understanding, albeit through different lenses.
Perhaps it is the language barrier. Scientists focus on empirical evidence, while literary figures often navigate emotions and narratives.
A fair point. It is fascinating how different disciplines can have such varied approaches.
Yet there is great value in collaboration. Each could enrich the other's perspective.
Agreed. A dialogue between them could lead to innovative ideas.
Lesson 33. Presidential Rhetoric.
I recently reread Bill Clinton's second inaugural address. It is quite a captivating speech.
I can imagine. What aspects of the speech resonated with you?
His eloquence in describing the air and majestic land was particularly moving.
It is remarkable how a leader can evoke such imagery and connect with the emotions of the audience.
Precisely. He had a way of weaving hope and unity into his message.
Those are essential elements during an inauguration, as they set the tone for the next term.
Indeed, his ability to inspire confidence through his words is commendable.
It would be interesting to analyze how his rhetoric influenced public perception at the time.
Quite so. It shaped the national discourse and inspired the collective spirit.
Lesson 34. Travel Planning.
As we consider our next adventure, I shall start looking for flights and accommodations.
That is a splendid idea. How long do you think we should stay?
I propose a week. It would give us ample time to explore without feeling rushed.
I concur. A week allows us to soak in the local culture and enjoy leisure activities.
Additionally, we can plan some excursions outside the main tourist areas.
That would enrich our experience. Discovering hidden gems is often the most rewarding part of travel.
Absolutely. I shall search for appealing hotels that offer a comfortable stay.
And I can look into activities and attractions that are essential to our itinerary.
Perfect. Together, we will create an unforgettable experience.
Lesson 35. Financial Forecast.
I have been reviewing our business strategy. What is the forecast for the next quarter?
The projections indicate that profits are expected to rise significantly.
That is excellent news. It seems our efforts are finally paying off.
Indeed, if we maintain our current trajectory, we could achieve remarkable growth.
It will be essential to communicate this optimism to the team.
Certainly, a motivated team can work wonders in pushing our goals forward.
Additionally, we should focus on strategies to maximize this potential increase.
That is a wise approach. Planning now will help us capitalize on upcoming opportunities.
As they say, failing to prepare is preparing to fail.